any drugs or anything like that. But the immigration officer, I think, denied him, thinking that he was a potential. Again, you don't even need to be the actual pedo. Just potentially, they can deny you. And I showed that earlier in the stream. Ed, your thoughts?
Yeah, man. When I listened to it on the original guy's podcast or his YouTube channel the other day, and I heard yours tonight, and it made me think, like, when people go over to Cuba from the United States, there's certain reasons that you have to list on the paperwork to get into the country. They're not just going to let you show up with, if you want to donate gifts to the community, you got to have paperwork to support that. Colombia obviously doesn't move that way, but being from Florida, I grew up around a lot of Venezuelans, Colombians, Dominicans. You got to know how to move. You can't come into a country with, let's say you got a nice timepiece on your wrist and you got a new one in your box. They want to know where you got that from. Like, what are your plans? They're going to ask you that. They have every right to ask you what's going on. And I think if you showing up with all of these things in your luggage for a flower festival, in my opinion, it does look suspect, because why are you showing up to a flower festival with all these different gifts? Even if you got girls on the side, you got 5 or 6 of them. Right. You don't show up to a flower festival with that type of stuff in your luggage. That's just like a dude showing up with 200 condoms in your luggage. They're going to ask you questions. I mean, it just makes sense. But that's my input, man.
Okay, Nick travels. What's your thoughts?
Hey, what's going on, man? Salute to the panel. So I'm in Puerto Vallarta right now. I'm actually about to go on a date in like 20 minutes.
Okay, cool.
So I'll try to keep it quick. But I actually got denied into Peru earlier this year. Yeah. So to try to summarize it real quick, I was going back and forth to Colombia. And on my like second entry to Peru, they randomly just like stopped me. They didn't go through my phone or anything like that. The guy didn't even speak English, so I had to use like broken Spanish and the translator. But basically, like, yeah, I like when I travel, I don't ever travel because I work remotely, so I don't ever travel with the itinerary. So he just asked me what my itinerary was. You know, do I have any friends? I was like, in my head, I was like, I have girls that I'm dating here, but I don't really have any, friends. Like, I don't know any expats here. So basically, he just asked me more questions, and basically, what it came down to was I didn't answer all his questions like to his satisfaction correctly.
Okay.
So they didn't, they flew me back to Colombia, basically.
Wow.
But yeah, he didn't go through my phone or anything like that.
Did they give you a declaration though of denying you?
Yeah, they gave me a paper.
And what did it say on the paper?
Basically, he, his questions, his answers, like didn't add up to, you know what I mean? Basically.
Okay.
His questions, his answers didn't satisfy the questions. But to be honest, so once they took me down into like the waiting area, it was all other. I don't like to play the race card, but it was other like black people. It was like other black. It was like black people from Africa, black people from like the DRs. You know what I mean? So I was like, man, did they just profile me? So I'm not 100% sure about that, but yeah, I got denied into Peru because I was going back and forth. So I asked my lawyer friend that was that like lives in Peru. She's Peruvian. Lawyer friend. So she said basically
everybody. I don't want to make you lose your train of thought, but everybody got a lawyer girlfriend or a wife in these countries, right. Man. So go ahead.
Right. Yeah. So she basically, and I'm gonna open my camera too, so I can show you guys. So basically, she said that since I was entering Peru too many times in the same month, it looks suspicious. And what it was, I was doing business in Colombia. Well, yeah, I was doing business in Colombia because let me open my camera. there's an embassy in Bogota, right? So I had to get. I was handling my passport situation. So as you can see, here's my first passport, and then you can see United States of America, right? So that's why I was going back and forth. So here you can see two passports, and I tried to explain that to him, the guy, but he didn't speak any English, and my Spanish is like 30%. So I was trying to explain, like, hey, that's why I'm going back and forth, like my pasaporte, like I have business in Bogota, so I was going back and forth. So my lawyer friend was like, that's why they didn't let me in, because it looks suspicious. Like, you're here, you don't have an itinerary, you entered Peru 2 times already this month, like so yeah, that's what happened to me.
Okay. Well, appreciate you for sharing that. That sounds legit.
Yeah, of course.
I want to hear about that date in Puerto Vallarta soon. Ronin, what's up?
I got something to add to what Nick Travels just said real quick. I know Thailand and the Philippines, they're now looking at people that are renewing their visas, 30-day visas, 60-day visas. If you guys are renewing and going into these countries multiple times a year, they're pushing for you guys to get longer term visas. Okay, so if they're starting to give you a hard time about how many times you're coming in, you might want to start looking at a longer term visa if you plan on staying there for longer periods of time. Okay, because I know right now Philippines is doing that real tough, even for people that have been there for years, and Thailand as well.
Okay.
So just to add to what Nick was saying, go ahead.
Got it. So what's your thoughts and opinions about our friend Pathfinder?
I mean, there's some questionable things that you can kind of draw a line and say, it's a little sketchy. If I'm looking at working with an orphanage or some kind of charitable organization, I know their name. I know a point of contact within that organization. I'm going to have that documentation. I'm going to have something written in a book somewhere saying, hey, I'm working with this person at this location. Here's the address. Here's our meeting time we're supposed to have, especially if I got things in a bag that's supposed to be for them. That's questionable on how he said that. You get what I'm saying? So that's where I would draw kind of like, and then to say that you were being suspected as a drug mule of some type, but not having any drugs and still be kicked out. That's another problem with the story. I'm like, if they couldn't find anything, drug sniffing dogs, whatever, couldn't find anything, why are they putting you back on a plane if that was the only reason? You get what I'm saying? So there's two things in the story, but again, it's all alleged because he came back to the United States clean, but there's something else that was setting off that radar, especially a female like that. They get these female intuition type of things going on, and like, this guy's not panning out, and they have every right to do that. We do that to so many people coming into our country.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I don't want to draw conclusions, but I don't think he's telling 100% of everything that was said and the reasons why he was being suspected. And if you don't have drugs on you, why are you being kicked out? If you don't have drugs on you, why isn't the DEA picking you up at the U.S. border and taking you for questioning for further search? So that's a question. And then, like I said, the other thing is, if you're going to a charitable organization, why don't you know a point of contact who you've been dealing with in order to give the donation, set up a time, whether you're going to do a media type of thing and you're donating for that type of a hype situation for your channel or whatever. Why haven't you work out the particulars to where you know that person's name, the location of the organization, and how that process is going to work? At least that you can show somebody at immigration.
Read that super chat, because that's that's real,
right. Mr. G 1804. Remember, American logic is not universal.
Exactly.
Facts.
Really quick though, no excuse. Your thoughts and opinions. Welcome to the channel, brother.
Oh man, what's up, bro? Man, I got a few, man. All right. So first thing is, a tourist is we arrive on considered a tourist visa. It's a privilege, not a right. And to what Ronin said, other visa types give you not necessarily a right, like a digital nomad or business visa, but like myself, I have a spousal visa for Colombia. I have a right to be in that country. You know what I mean? So people have to understand that. And if you want to have a right to be in that country, you will have to consider having certain type of visas. With that said, being married, even though I got some troubles in paradise, being married does have its privileges traveling to particular countries, especially if you frequent. You won't get sweated like that. Another thing I see is that, not saying that this affects, because a lot of people try to make it seem like it affects just black people, but I think groups of people have been denied. But a lot of guys don't like to hear this, but we do have to consider countries, to go to countries where there are people that look like us. You know what I mean? I know the passport bro community is against that, but that's going to be a reality for a lot of people. The next thing I want to mention, you have to be careful on what you pack. Yes, it is safe to bring condoms. You should, but if you got 100 condoms and you got toys and lingerie and all that stuff, I mean, come on now, you're not going for a flower festival. You know what I mean? You're going to deflower somebody. That's what it looks.
Hey, he said he had
Straight
3
facts.
suitcases, right? Yeah, 3 suitcases.
Yeah, perfume, toiletries,
5 boxes of condoms.
So
don't forget about the toys. Kid
Hey,
toys.
boy,
I mean,
yes.
now he could have bribed the officer, say, "Hey, I got a couple gifts for you if you if you want some." you know, so I was denied during when Colombia opened back up from the pandemic, but I was denied for my COVID my test. My test was, you have to be tested within like 48 hours, but they couldn't interpret the time zone difference, so they tried to say I wasn't in the right time frame, so I got sent home back out of Cartagena, but I came back on another flight back to Medellin. So, and I still use the same COVID test. So, not saying that people should do this, but he probably could have tried to come back if he really wanted to through a different airport. And so,
Right.
I'm gonna lead to say that Colombia has 5 or 6 international airports. Cartagena is terrible to fly into. Medellin is tricky. Bogota is, what I mean? You have less frequently enter airports like in Cali, Barranquilla, Armenia, and I think
Santa Marta, because when he went back to Miami, I'm assuming, Miami, you can fly directly from Miami to Santa Marta.
But really, would you take that risk though? I mean, he's already, you already seen, man, he's already spending like little to nothing on travel, going to 3 different airports, and now I'm going to take that risk to jump back on another plane to go get off in Cali or get off in CTG or somewhere like that.
I think, like QB said, if that's something that's a negative on my report and it might get me on a no-fly list, then I'm taking care of that right away. Get that shit off my list.
For sure.
Well, it depends if he got stamped. I don't know if he got stamped in. When I got denied, I didn't get stamped. They just looked at my.
He got stamped.
test.
He said he got stamped.
He did say that. Yeah.
And
then
before he was going to get his luggage, the girl came running to come get his ass to come back and interrogated him. So
okay. So yeah, they would have seen. Yeah. So if he would have came back, that'd have been like, damn, you just got stamped. It would have been suspect.
Yeah, I didn't even stamp me. Like as soon as I got off the plane, they just pulled a couple people aside.
Wow.
And I guess the last thing I was gonna say is frequency too, man. Like, what do you guys think, especially these countries that want to clamp down? What do you guys think about how frequent people should be traveling to these countries as a tourist?
I mean, if they see, okay, for example, a guy that goes to, for example, Asia, Japan, then comes back to Colombia, that guy is less likely to get pulled over compared to a guy who goes to Colombia 8 times a year. So it's about, because they're looking at the traffic. Why is this guy coming from? That's why one of the questions that the border agent says is like, hey, what are you here for? The tourism and all that. But if you've been there like 8 times in 1 year, then that's gonna raise some eyebrows.
Right.
You know, one of the things I thought too was that whenever he got back to Miami, I think the U.S. government looked at him as a drug mule because they probably looked at his flight. They're like, man, this is a quick turnaround. Is he some type of drug mule or something like that? I don't know what the paperwork that he got in Colombia said that he used drugs, but I don't know.
I think that's true, man. Because one thing I was going to say is that I never been denied entry, but I remember in 2017, I had extended my stay in Cartagena. Like I was in Colombia for 2 weeks and all I had was a carry-on. So when I'm leaving Cartagena, they made me check the bag, but they couldn't explain why they had to check my bag. They just circled my ticket with a red crayon and said, no, we got to check this bag. I caused the scene with my limited Spanish, like, no, you got to explain that. So then they pulled me to the side room and asked me a bunch of questions, fill out some paperwork, like, why are you in this country? I explained everything. I had the itinerary, everything, but it wasn't until I got in Atlanta for my connecting flight, the US people told me, oh, well, did you maybe extend your flight? Did you book at the last minute? And that's what it was. And they told me that pilots and flight attendants are subjected to the same scrutiny. But they tell you what's going on. So the fact that he wants to pretend, that's a lot of things to question.
Right. Styles King, welcome to the stream. Your thoughts and your opinions about the situation with Pathfinder.
Salute to everybody in the chat and on the panel, man. So Pathfinder is the guy that was out there playing basketball with the kids.
Yeah, he went to just to brush you up, he went to Medellin for a flower festival with another guy.
Yeah, I was watching some of it. I tried to get caught up on a little bit of it, man.
And he was denied entry because suspect of being like a drug trafficking. That's what he was saying.
Oh, okay. So now I got what you were saying because that was funny what you were saying about him. But yeah, so my opinion on that is, you can't be an idiot, man. Like, even if you're not up to no good, you still. Well, I guess we know this a lot of times as black men, that you can't, even if you're totally innocent, if you portray an image that could possibly be taken wrong, then you run the risk of messing your life up sometimes.
Facts.
So that's something really important to take into consideration, no matter what you're doing. So, like, on my way into where I'm at now in Ecuador, I talked about this on live before. They asked me, like, what did I do for a living when I was at the customs thing, and that kind of surprised me.
In Guayaquil?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And but it's customs. They got a job to do. So when they asked me, it surprised me, though, because I haven't been asked that at customs before. So I kind of, we started talking about it, but then it was like kind of awkward. But I stayed calm, and the lady looked at it. She looked at my passport, and she was like, "Okay, go ahead and go." So, it's all about how you react to things sometimes. I didn't have any problems. It's just, you gotta know yourself. You gotta know what's going on. You gotta know that because some people could have freaked out, like, why are you asking me that and all that.
Right. Absolutely. Now, again, I like what the other guys were saying, that if you travel there frequently, which he does, get a visa. Consider getting a visa. And that way it shows like, hey, you have a record here coming frequently. You like traveling, you do your tourism stuff. But I think he overtalked himself out to getting access into the country. when you're saying things, hey, flower festival, you got these gifts you're going to give to a nonprofit, and then you're a chef, you're an actor,
you're a baker,
you're a baker.
I'm a botanist. I like flowers.
Right. People are like,
drive Uber on the weekends.
What the hell is?
Hey, I'm Jamaican. I got 13 jobs. What you mean?
That's kind of what I meant. I kind of meant that too.
And the thing is, like, okay, even if they go to his YouTube channel, they see, okay, this is where you've been in Colombia. Why are you with these kids? What's going on here? I know that's what I would question. And that female officer, it was a sense of her, like, hey, this guy, there's something weird and funny about him. And women get like that. If you are an awkward dude, their senses would be like, hell no, I don't want to be around this guy. I don't feel safe or comfortable. So he should know that as well.
I mean, with his shaved mustache, he looked kind of.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. I mean,
and then like how he was playing basketball, he don't even know how to play basketball. Like what are you doing?
Yeah, that was something from 2 years ago though. That was video from 2 years ago when he was there.
Right, but I would still, as a vlogger, okay, because he does have a channel, but he really doesn't vlog that much. I would say, hey, I'm in this, community. How do you say it? Threse or whatever. I'm here on a tour and I'm playing basketball with the kids, showing them how to play. And then I'm giving back because I noticed he gave money to the kid. I like to give back to the poor. Nothing wrong with that, but at least say that. Now we're just seeing it and you're saying about, your flower festival and, all the gifts that you're going to be giving, and we look at this, we'd be like, "Yo, this is not adding up."
You know what he kind of reminded me of? He kind of reminded me of like Norbit. Like,
yes,
damn, Norbit Afro and everything too.
Exactly.
Yeah. Damn. Norbit goes to Colombia.
That would be an episode for real.
Damn.
Oh shit.
Hey, QB messing around with them kids on YouTube. That's what got Miko Worldwide cased up, man.
Yeah, man.
That's the thing, though. That's what when I get on guys about when guys say they don't go to Medellin for blank tourism. It's like it's no secret what Medellin is known for. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
You know what I mean? Everybody's going there for, pretty much the same reason. So go to a different city first. Then fly domestic into Medellin. Like make it like you could, like I'm going to San Andreas this weekend.
Damn, D Ward, really? D Ward hide money in his passport to get through. What the fuck are you doing, D Ward?
But I thought
what you doing?
I don't know if you guys watched BMT's last panel, but I thought it was very interesting when one of the fellas was talking about how he got stopped and they looked through his phone, downloaded the conversations and his apps and all of that stuff, and I was like, wow, that's crazy right there. So that gives you guys a heads up.
Y'all better clean your shit up before you go up in that.
You really need to delete those apps. They're already on your cloud, but go ahead and delete those apps. And he said he also logs out of everything. He logs out of his email because they're going to go through everything if they pull you to the side here in the States. They got the technology to unlock your phone. And he said one of the brothers denied it and they kept his phone for a week.
Damn.
So better watch out, guys. The system's close. I mean, it changes. But
what's the message behind all this? Are they just pulling brothers from all the different places?
No,
it sounds like it's a worldwide thing, like push with immigration now, and it could be because of all the ST that's going on internationally. But it seems like it's hyperactive right now. You get what I'm saying? And all these countries that you could potentially be going to. So I think you guys better be kind of like really scrutinizing, what you're doing, how you're doing it, and have some kind of documentation with you at all times.
Right. Really quick, NYC Keen, welcome to the panel. Your thoughts and your opinions regarding the subject. NYC Kings, are you there? Going once, going twice.
I hate passport bros.
Okay.
I believe guys should diversify in order for them from being stopped. Because, like I said, if you keep going back to the same places, then that's gonna raise some eyebrows. So I feel like guys should diversify and go to like other places.
That place, man. Buck,
I'm not bringing it. So
Okay.
guys should diversify and go to like other places. Like do an opposite place. If you go to Latin America once, do an opposite. Go to Europe. Go to Asia. Go to Australia. So.
Right. NYC Kings, you're back, bro. So what's up? Thoughts and opinions?
Salute to the panel. Salute to the chat. First of all, salute to Ronnie Travels. Salute to UQB and all Buck and everybody else on the panel. My brothers up there. I just got off the phone with my ex-Brazilian wife. She talked to me for hours, and she tends to want to communicate with me like that, and so I got to communicate with her because she is the mother of my child.
Right.
But I do respect the guys that do travel overseas for this situation. Just like she was just telling me, you guys got to be careful because you don't know what you're gonna get. So she just said that to me just a few seconds ago, and I told her that I talk to guys that travel overseas. And I try to counsel them, give them some of my life experiences. And whether they accept it or not, that's on them because everybody's entitled to live their own life.
Right.
But I also want the brothers to be careful. Be careful. We're not in our country. Things can happen. Things have been happening. Things are not going to stop happening to us. Okay?
Right.
At the end of the day, we bring in the dollars, but they don't care about our lives. We bring in the dollars, but they don't care about our lives.
Powerful.
Facts.
Yeah. And so, again, he's still free to travel to other countries. He might go to the DR, but Ronin, to answer your question, it's not just black guys that they're targeting.
Right.
It's white guys, it's Indian guys, and with Indian guys specifically, they get the worst of the worst. Like, a lot of regular women don't like them. So you go into a place like Colombia, they're thinking, okay, you're a hijabi working tech out there in San Jose. You looking to have the time of your life. What are you doing here in Colombia?
Right.
So QB, question for you. As you go back and forth into Guadalajara, I mean, are you starting to, or is this going to make you want to carry an itinerary with you?
Great question. When I do fly in Mexico, I fly domestically. So they really don't question me. Now, where I do get questioned, like if I drive to Mexicali, which I'll be there this weekend, I'm sending my girl clothes, right, to go sell. Technically, customs, if they pull me over, I would have to pay tax on site right there to the Mexican immigration and then show a record of that to give to the company to ship it off over there to Cancun. But like I said, they don't really mess with me like that. And if they do stop me, hey, it's not that much, but they can do that. It's perception,
Hey, QB, can I say something? You want to know the weirdest thing? I used to get stopped by customs at JFK coming in from different countries. They thought I was some sort of drug dealer or trafficker. They wonder why I travel so much to Brazil. I told them I have a wife there, I have a child there, I need to be there, you know. Right. But every time I came into New York, they put me in a separate line.
Wow.
So I was getting tested coming back home. Okay. Another thing, when I started to fly to Europe, they started doing the same crap. Okay, because I'm the only black guy coming off the plane. Until they looked into the file and said, okay, this guy's got something going on here. Let him through. You know, so when you're a new traveler, you get, we call it chosen. You get picked. And if you're not in their system, because they know everything about you. They know how many times you've been there. They know the people you wrote on the paper for contacts. When you fly into your own country, they know whether you got warrants or you owe child support.
Right.
They get you right at the airport. They got a police station at the airport at JFK.
Oh, wow.
You come in and you owe child support or you ran from a warrant, they get you coming back in. They got you. So you guys think you can run away and come back? It's not happening.
Right.
Hey,
Which
QB, I had a question.
Go ahead.
You said you fly domestic, so you're flying what? Are you going? You said you fly domestic, so are you leaving from LAX and going into Mexico, or you?
No. So I normally anywhere in Mexico, I fly out of Tijuana or Mexicali. Right.
Okay, now I understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I also tell yes, I cross the border. I also tell guys, you know, I had a friend not too long ago. He forgot to bring his passport, and Mexico wouldn't let him in. And normally, they will let you in. You just got to pay them like $30. But for this day, they didn't let him in. I'm like, well, bro, did you go to the Old Time Mesa border? Because they just let people in all the time. He didn't do that. So it's up to their discretion. But there are times where I entered in Mexico and I just tell guys, look, walk in the Mexican line. If they stop you, then show them your passport. I walk in the local Mexican line, which I need to get my residency, by the way. I'm slacking. That's in a process. They don't even ask me anything. I walk right up in there. So, you know, it all depends on various things, but
like a 6'3" black man in a Mexican line trying to get in America. Come on.
Yeah. I don't think dude was just paying attention. That's what I really think it is. But for example, if I take the bus around Mexico, which I do sometimes, there's a lot of Haitians in Mexico. So if you don't have the proper documentation, they're going to think, hey, you know, you're a legal immigrant in Mexico. And if you don't have your passport, they can technically take you to jail.
But that's another thing, QB. When they run your passport, they see that you're a frequent person that comes in and out of Mexico. So they're not going to give you any problems. But for the newbie traveler, they got their senses up for why you're here. Okay?
Right.
That goes to the fact of what I'm saying. They know about you as soon as you hand them your paperwork. They look in that computer, they see how many times you've been there. And then they'll feel safe about you coming into
the biggest troller, man.
Yeah, Paul Miller, look, man, I got the height. I wasn't blessed with the voice. That's all right, man. Basketball skills. I mean, that was the only. Yeah.
Paul chose everybody. He's all right. He's
cool. All right. But I just think that perception really matters. It matters when you travel. It matters when you're dealing with people. And sometimes there's things that is beyond our control. But again, I point back to have a story and have a legit story. He's probably never been confronted by people. I'm assuming Buddy was probably, introvert. And so that's why he was really nervous. Like, oh my gosh, what's going on here? But
let's stop that right now. I'm an introvert. Do I sound like one?
No, you don't.
Then you're just weird.
That's true too. You got weirdos and women, and I'm gonna ask this around the panel. Do you think women pick on weirdos? Like, can they sense like the guy is a weirdo?
Yeah, you give off vibes. Hell yeah, you do.
Okay.
Well, not really. I mean, not always weirdos. I mean, women are haters too, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So when I apply for my global entry, which people should have.
Yes.
My global entry, the interviewer, she was a woman. Like everybody before me got approved. Once she got to me, she seen like all my stamps to DR, Colombia.
Oh, so she hating.
Yeah. So she was asking me like, why are you going to these countries so much? She's like, do you speak Spanish? I was like, I can speak, not fluent. So she was questioning me being there because I'm not a fluent Spanish speaker. And I didn't get approval right away. I had to go through a secondary process. So I submitted a complaint to the CP I submitted a complaint, and then a few days later I got my global entry. But
congrats, brother. That's powerful. Global entry.
Yeah. And probably in your case too, they probably aren't really allowed to ask you those questions like that. Mm-hmm. And it probably went outside of their guidelines. Like, why are you really interrogating this guy about how many times he's come in and out? Does that meet the criteria of giving him the pass? So once you escalated it, they probably like, hey, let him on through.
Right.
Yeah. And before I forget, when if you apply for a Colombian like a visa, like a different type of visa, one of the questions they will ask is, have you ever been denied entry in this country? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh my God, you do not want to check that box.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's on every visa though. That's on every visa.
But can you imagine getting denied once and having to check that box?
Right.
After you've been denied? Oh my God.
And then you will be denied.
Catch 22.
Right.
Wow, that is a good one.
Really quick, not to change the topic. All right. Styles King, can you tell us really quick about Ecuador, man?
Yeah.
Just give us a rundown, man, because he's in a city where I actually do love outside of Mexico. That's, like I said, I got my shorty. QB is good, but Guayaquil is another, like, I got a heart for Guayaquil. But explain, brother, briefly.
Let me ask you a question real quick. The guy that you hooked me up with, the Pa Fuego.
Yeah.
I just hit him up. He was saying he want to pull up on me to try to show me around. Is that cool?
Yeah. He's Uber driver. He's drove me around. We kicked it at restaurants. Muy tranquilo, man. You're in good hands. Has a daughter. He's my people, man. And he was in my
nothing crazy.
Right. And he was in my video too. So he just doesn't speak a lot of English. But again, he's gonna have you set the best place, table, girls, all that, man. He got you.
Okay.
So
Oh, damn. Yeah.
So King, what time is it there?
It's 10, 13.
Yeah, he's not far.
Same as Alabama, Texas.
Same,
yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So yeah.
BLB is really trolling for you, QB. BLB is really trolling for you, bro.
BLB, he's a good brother. Again, he's just one of those guys where if you say anything bad about Colombia women, they're he's going to be on you, and that's fine. Now, again, I would love for a guy like BLB to come to Mexico because he'll have a second opinion, and he might find the love of his life. I've been to 3 cities in Colombia, And again, I move different. I have different takes. All of us in this travel space, including this panel, even though we're black, we're the same skin. We all move differently. All of us.
Yep.
All right. Some of us similar, some of us not. But I'm open to exploring other places. Now, granted, it's cliche. Well, QB, all you do is go to Mexico because I have to live here in the States. But I've been to so many different places in Mexico that I'm able to access. And so I have a different perspective, but that's me,
Hey, yo, QB, ain't it fun to explore the countries like that? Just to get around and know different places to go when you get there?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Just instead of just sitting on Pedro Casande someplace, so exploring the country, feeling the culture, feeling good about yourself, meeting new people, feeling happy about your travels. That's what travel is about, Passport Bros. Moving around and feeling the country and exploring the culture.
Whoa, we're not Passport Bros, man.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say that? I'm sorry. That slipped out a little bit. That just slipped out a little bit.
You about to reel that shit in, bro.
I'm sorry.
Hold on, NYC King. I don't have any hate towards Ecuador after I got scoped and robbed there. It was by Colombian people. It's like somebody coming to the United States and said, hey, I got robbed by a Jamaican, and no disrespect by Jamaican people. I'm just using that as an example. I got robbed by a Jamaican dude in New York with a gun. I hate New York City. No,
I love New York City.
I don't feel that way. So yes, I do like Ecuador. Hey, brother, if things didn't work out for you in Ecuador, that's your issue. But I have nothing against Ecuador whatsoever. And the homie Styles King, he's there in Guayaquil, which BIB has been there. And the promoter, he's hitting me up. He was like, yo, your friend wrote me. And he said it in English. So you good, man.
But hey, QB, did you tell Style King where you met those girls at so that he doesn't take him to that?
That was in Quinto. That wasn't in Guayaquil. So that's a whole different city.
Okay.
So it's like going to Vegas and he's in LA right now. That's kind of like the distance.
Hey, QB, you got Blueprint on the panel. He hasn't gotten to speak yet.
Oh, yeah. Blueprint, what's up, man? Your thoughts and opinions about the stream?
I want to throw this out there. I don't know if you guys already talked about it, but I don't know if you guys are aware that Interpol just set up camp in Medellin. And the reason why I'm mentioning that is because the mayor of that city has been going after foreigners, including guys going over there for that special tourism. What intel's being fed to the local guys on the ground is Interpol monitoring channels now, YouTube channels, Facebook channels, about guys going over to certain locations for that special tourism. So those are things we're going to have to look at, because this dude who got denied may have fit a profile.
That's yes.
Can I answer that question, QB?
Go ahead, NYC King.
Okay, YouTube has got a big station. They watch all the channels that we got, bro. All of them. You think they don't know what we're doing, what we're talking about? They got somebody watching us now.
Exactly.
Okay. So the mayor of Medellin is just tired, yo. He's just frustrated. He's just tired that whenever you Google or you YouTube Colombia, it brings up one thing. He's just tired. That's the bottom line. How would you like if there was a crack house in the house that you lived in, and then you moved in it, and people are still buying crack to come to your house?
But too good. That's the one problem I kind of have with a lot of guys, is that they're showing too much. Now, people years ago have been going down to these places for years, and no one said a thing. but now it's all on Front Street.
That's why I'm mad. That's why I'm mad at the passport bros. That's why before the day we could travel to these countries, nobody knew about it. We did it on a sneak tip. It was our own private little paradise until the pandemic hit. Until people wanted to spread the word.
Right.
Well, it's not private anymore.
To comment back on Passport Blueprint, I think you're right. He got profiled wrongly, okay, and they're cracking down. The mayor is cracking down, saying the only way we can control the scopamine is by denying guys to come in here. And he looks like a dude that can possibly, be one of those dudes as well. So instead of having these murder rates, and these scope cases, another way to prevent that is actually denying people coming in.
Yep.
Well, here's one.
I mean, that's true.
Give you a little push.
Go ahead, Ronin. You respond and then go ahead.
That's cool. And like I said, this is on an international scale. Like I said, there's other countries starting to ramp up immigration, even the visas within the country that you're staying in currently. So when you're looking at not only South America, but Southeast Asia doing similar things, and overall worldwide, there's something going on, whether they're just trying to stop, ST or, the other things that are going on in those countries. They're trying to minimize it, and they're trying to stop it right there at the border.
Right.
Right. So, I mean, it's not just South America, it's other countries. It's not just black people, it's everybody is being scrutinized at this point. Maybe it's turnabout is fair play. We're giving their people a hard time coming into America. They're going to give us a hard time going into their countries.
Facts.
True.
So step up your game. If you plan on staying there longer, get a longer term visa. Stop being motherfucking cheap. If you know you're going to be there 5 times out of the year, why you mind just a 30-day visa?
Right. Mr. G1804, appreciate the super. The problem is making a living of travel content. I'm going to kind of disagree because look at my channel. Yes, there are times of me clubbing and doing other things, but you mainly see me with my girlfriend. I'm promoting, hey, come to Mexico, get a girlfriend, life is good, right? But then you have also other channels where they're peeping toms, they're going to strip clubs, and they're promoting a degenerate lifestyle that some countries, some people really want to disregard. So that's where, I can understand where he's coming from, but what's your guys' thoughts on this super?
Well, my thoughts, let me tell you something. Ronnie will tell you what sort of channel that I have. I have a trucking channel. It's got nothing to do with traveling. It's got nothing to do with pay for play. It's got nothing to do with it's the occupation that I do. But I do travel a lot. Okay? So we can have different channels and different things. I cater to truckers. Okay, I don't cater to with creep camming and Medellin and all those other stuff, but I do travel on the DL because my travel time is private because I could be with my wife. What I'm publicize me being with my wife and show it to you guys for? What does that make me out to be, a sucker? Hell yeah. This is my private time when I travel. I'm not a traveling YouTuber. You'll see me around New York and Brooklyn and Manhattan doing truck driver stuff, but you want my private time with my ladies is my private time with my ladies. Bottom line.
Gotcha. Styles King.
We stepped on Blueprint. Blueprint never got to speak. I kind of stepped on him. Then we didn't.
My bad, Blueprint. You go ahead and then Styles King.
Well, what I want to say is I kind of wanted to give you a little pushback on what you had originally said, QB. I don't think it's more or less they're denying people so they won't get scope, because they could have done a task force to protect visitors, because this is tourism. Tourism brings in dollars.
Right.
By them not having some type of task force to protect us and arrest people doing it, that's where I have an issue with. I think this is more about trying to get out of a bad reputation, because if you look at Colombia has always had that reputation from the Carlos Escobar era, and they're trying to clean that up. Now these some of these YouTubers are promoting these locations, including Colombia, to be the new special tourist spot. And that puts a bad reputation on them, because I've known this, like a friend of mine, she tells me, or my friend from Brazil, she tells me there's guys calling girls and propositioning them all because they're on Tinder.
Ooh.
Yeah, that stuff is going around.
Passport
There are a lot
Blueprint.
of issues, and a lot of these guys are just going over there for that type of tourism, and it brings a bad reputation to that country or that city and stuff. Me personally,
Blueprint.
I'm going down there to buy a summer home so I can have a summer place to chill out and stuff.
Yeah. Passport Blueprint, I got a question for you, because DC Born Rob mentioned this, and also the guy, I can't think of his name, Pathfinder, he also kind of mentioned it too, about this itinerary. DC Born Rob said that the itinerary has always been there, but he's like, I never used it. So it sounds like you've been to Colombia, right?
No, I haven't been to Brazil.
Okay, well, yeah. If anybody's been to Colombia, is that always been a thing, and is people are just not been doing it? I mean, New York City King, you've been to Colombia, right?
Respectfully, I haven't been there. I've been to every place else. But
Mr. G, have you been to Colombia?
Yes, I've
been to Colombia.
Okay.
I've been to Colombia. I usually fly to Cali.
What do you know about the itinerary situation?
I've never heard that. As this situation here, I think most of us is probably the first time we've heard people being questioned about this whole thing.
Well, my question is this: are they talking about the travel itinerary, or they expect you to give your location, every little place you're going while you're there?
No. I think by itinerary they mean like if you're gonna be there, let's say you're there for a week or so, like what are your plans for during your stay in the country? That's what they mean by itinerary. I will think so. I don't know.
No, I mean you don't need that. Yo, check, because they do a system called CheckMate. It's like it's like a form you fill out online before you enter, and it usually asks you what hotel you're staying at and address and stuff like that. But they never required a specific itinerary like what you're going to do. So that I think they just kind of got him off his guard with that question.
So basically, it's kind of like an entry form into the country that you have to fill out prior to coming into Colombia.
That form I've never had. I'm not sure. I don't know if every city is different. I haven't flown from the United States into Medellin. I've flown into Medellin coming from Santa Marta, because I was flying around a few different cities within the country. Cali, Colombia, I don't even remember. No excuse. Have you? I remember that form. You remember that back in the days they used to have that little form before you get off the plane.
No. It was a form that they implemented after the pandemic. But the last time I went to Colombia, I don't know why he mentioned that, because the last time I went to Colombia, they didn't ask for it. But the website is still up for use. But
the immigration form?
Yeah.
But the immigration. Yeah, the same thing on DR got too. You got to tell them, well, your Airbnb information, how long you staying. There's a few questions, but that's like a basic form though. But I think this situation here is just a Medellin situation. I've never really heard that in Cartagena, but I've never flown into Cartagena from the States. I haven't heard that in Cali. So that may be a Medellin thing. As we know, Medellin, they've had a lot of movement, even anti-gringo. They literally had an anti-gringo movement out there. So that is something particular to
Cartagena worse. Cartagena worse.
But as we talk about this itinerary, that's one of the suspect things I think about this brother that we just watched, was that he couldn't even tell him the hotel. He couldn't tell him where the parade was going on at. Like that's it's all red flag.
But he know where the playground's at though.
Damn. Come on, dog. Don't do that, man.
Oh gosh. That's
you know what?
funny.
We don't know. I mean, it can be.
What did he say? Right.
I don't know, guys. That have never happened to me. Besides basic questions, but yeah, I mean, I can see somebody being nervous. And the sequence of the story, right? Something that happened last, he may tell you it happened before last, so his shit may be out of sequence, but I don't know. He's been there several times. I don't know. I mean, do they have a file on him? They've been watching him, whatnot. If it's that case,
Now,
I mean,
let me tell you, they can be some a-holes, man. Because when I came during the pandemic, it was people getting sent home for like halfway having a mask covered over their nose. They was just like, "You get out of line." He was like, "What I do?"
Damn.
Go. Yeah. This was in Cartagena, so they could be some a-holes too, man. They could be some a-holes.
Colombia.
Do you think this
Colombia
is that
are not a
situation?
respecter of people. As far as like, just because you have an American passport, they're just gonna, let you do whatever. Because I have a friend, he's in Colombia right now, but about 2 years ago, he got deported. He went to, I think, Ecuador to check.
Hold on 1 second. I just got a hater, BLB. This is me in Santa Martha last year, bro.
Was a
like,
little bit of a hassle.
I'm not shitting on Colombia, but I don't see you doing stuff like this, dog.
Still dealing with that.
I love Santa Marta, man.
Right. He wants to go to the hood and do hood shit. Like, brother, I'm at a resort on the beach
nice,
with a baddie.
Overall, I'm very impressed.
Like,
yeah.
Again, I give credit where credit is due. I just had to show that really quick. My bad, y'all.
Is that Mexico?
No, Santa Marta.
No.
That's Colombia.
He's over there getting triggered.
Right. This is Santa Martha right here.
Santa Marta is very nice. Like when I really thought about moving to Colombia before my situation changed, that was at the top of, like, that was the place I was eyeing at. Santa Marta. It's a really nice spot, man. There's a few foreigners that go there, but it's still kind of like, I don't know why people go to Medellin and these, like, I like to be close to the water, but everybody like what they like, but
Right. I mean, I got more that I can show, but it's just, again, because people think I'm a Colombian hater, and I'm not. Again, I don't like the food, and I don't like the liquor. The women are great. It's great to visit. Santa Marta was decent. But when it comes to Mexico, the food, the liquor is on point. The beaches are nice. Yes, Colombia, I'll give the edge on the women, but there's no shortage of beautiful women. And that's kind of my argument. And again, if brothers want to go there and explore Colombia, great, but they should be held to a higher standard. I'm seeing guys with women with excessive tats, guts, BBWs. I'm like, yo, you're going all the way over there for this? Like, what?
QB, I think you've carved out your niche with Mexico. Like you about the only. I think you're the only brother that is going there like you are.
Well, yes and no. I think a lot of brothers, they don't know about Mexico, so if they don't know about it, it's not going to really interest them to go as much compared to a place like Medellin where everybody's going. So lack of content, and then the stereotype again. Mexican women are SpongeBob. You have the cartels. It's dangerous. That's another deterrent of not wanting to go to Mexico. But I'm just looking and comparing. I'm like, okay, well, you're going to these places, and these are the real women that you're getting at. Like, no, I wouldn't go there. Right. But again, everybody moves different, has a different perspective. And then, not to be biased, it's like, okay, well, Guayaquil, I love that place. The seafood, I'm a seafood guy. the seafood and Guayaquil. Man, I can eat crab legs for $7. Garlic crab.
Yeah, wait, they got crab legs?
Yes, I told you on the north side of town, the promoter, he'll take you there, bro. He'll take you there. They got crab.
But a lot of these countries they got crabs, but they don't really have like snow crab legs. Are you talking about?
They don't have snow crab legs, but they have like it's like the thigh or the thumb meat of the crab. You dip that bad boy in garlic, bro. You're in heaven. It's enough meat. It's enough meat.
Okay, I'm gonna try it. I like crab.
Pause.
Yeah, pause. Pause.
Appreciate it. No excuse.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm getting ready to go now. Shoot, I think better finna pull up in about 10 minutes.
Okay, hey, just do a little selfie video, y'all together, man. You know, because that's my guy. He'll make sure you're right. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And I'll be checking on you. Pause.
I want to answer your question. I wanted to answer your question earlier that I didn't get a chance to
Yeah. Go ahead before you leave.
So Guayaquil, this is my 3rd day here now. So I mean, I'm smiling, like I'm not disappointed at all. Completely. It's for now, I think it's an amazing place. You know what I mean? Like obviously it's not the perfect place. Nothing's gonna be perfect, but I don't want to say like anything for certain, but just compared to other places, I'm really liking it. Even with the people giving me warnings, like on the flight here, I met a chica. She was 21 from New Jersey. She was born and raised here, and she just laced me up with game. Everybody's just super helpful, especially if they can speak a little bit of English. They are super helpful, and she was warning me about the colorism herself. Like she brought up the colorism and started talking about how she was disappointed in her country for that, and I haven't really experienced it myself. But at the same time, I see that people are acknowledging and trying to do good. You know what I mean? And I appreciate that. You know? Even the chica last night, she was like a white Guayaquil girl, right? But she even brought it up herself. So I think that's a really positive thing about the country. Like I really like that. Nice. And plus, I've been having a great time every night. Like it's not been any really slow nights. Like last night, I thought it was gonna be slow for real, but
right.
Y'all seen it. Some of y'all seen it took a little turn.
Right. No, you're good. You're good, and I appreciate that input. And be safe tonight, and then report back to us, player. All right.
Yes, sir. Salute to y'all, man. Thank you.
Salute.
Okay. BLB, what's good, man? What's going on, player?
Good afternoon, panel. Good afternoon. Good night. Good evening. Whatever it is. How y'all?
Good. What's going on with you, bro?
Doing good.
Man, ain't none. Hey, QB, what's going on with you, man? You know you got everything negative to say about Colombia, bro. You have no positives about it, bro.
I would strongly disagree, brother. Strongly disagree.
Bro. All right.
Again, first of all, just sticking to the topic, brother was denied access to Medellin. Really quick, I'll answer what you have to say about my negative views on Colombia. But what's your thoughts about brother being denied to Medellin? Really quick.
I mean, all right. Number one, I seen earlier. I had to, hop off. Good live tonight, by the way. Let me give some credit where credit's due.
Appreciate that.
Number one, you made a comment about his shirt. And you don't realize the power behind that shirt. That shirt that he had on was called Medellin Crew, which was head up by a dude named Rob Lester, which owns Sweet Georgia Cafe. At that particular time in Medellin, it was a haven for brothers to go and get knowledge. Remember, when Rob was living in Medellin, there was no brothers getting scoped. Then he left Medellin, he went to Brazil, and now it's going haywire. There was a central place where Americans can go and get up on game, or you could come there when if something happened to you and you mess with because you remember you're in Colombia, you're in a third world country. You mess with somebody's girl that's moonlighting as a regular girl, and you know what I'm saying, you could be in some stuff in Medellin. Medellin can heat up like a microwave. And so Sweet Georgia Cafe was a point of information, a point of brotherhood for Black men to get together, So it was a good thing. So when you made fun of that shirt, it was kind of, I didn't really.
Okay.
As far as him,
is there somewhere like Sweet Georgia that's still there now, or is
no,
that just something that's missing?
that's missing. That's missing. It's nothing there now. You got your flip flops in Sosua, right? You had Sweet Georgia, bases of points of reference where guys can go in and get that information. And Cartagena, you pretty much got my guy Danger. You can still go out there and have a good time if you're with Danger. But there's nothing really now for the brothers to do. And plus, with all the attention that was generated from people YouTubing and traveling to Medellin, you're gonna get the guys that travel there that don't care and they just want to go straight for Pound Town, right? And that's what's happening. They're not vetting or dealing with these women. They don't even want to go sit down and eat. They're like, yo, my Airbnb's here. What time you showing up? And so you get scoped. You know what I'm saying? And that happens. And so the theme of what everybody is saying about Medellin, which people need to take a pause, because y'all got to be careful what you say about Medellin, because they listen. And the next time you think you're going over there, they're gonna be like, oh, that's that dude from YouTube that was saying that. And you might be a target. So you got to be careful when you talk about Medellin. The thing about Medellin that people forget is there's other cities in Colombia. People will say Colombia. People, you going to Colombia to get scoped. You're going to Colombia. But they're really meaning Medellin. What about Cucuta? What about Bucaramanga? What about Pereira? What about Buga? What about Pesto? What about Popayan? What about Choco? What about Santa Marta? What about San Andreas? Cali, I don't want people to go because Cali's my home. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they all up in there right now because there's an Afro festival going on out there.
Yeah, but best believe they're on their P's and Q's in Cali, because my guys over there, they don't play. You know what I'm saying? Cali don't play.
See how he left that conveniently off his list of people cities he shouting out. Cali, how we try to keep our back pocket cities to ourselves.
I would say to go to Cali because it's a better cultural experience. Like me and QB likes the lighter shade joints. I like a little chocolate. It's cool, no problems. Black, like he said, which is true, black men are not a monolith. We like different things. But Cali is for me because you get a little bit of everything in Cali, right? So it's a vibe. You get the joints coming from Buenaventura, the joints that's already there. You get the joints from Tumaco, Tucán. You understand what I'm saying? So it's a big variety in that area. So when people speak about Colombia, it's always a negative connotation with the word Colombia when they really mean Medellin. So I want people to be careful. Medellin is Wild Wild West. It's always been that, bro. It is never going to change. That's in their blood. So what happens in Medellin that don't necessarily happen in other places. You've never seen and shout out to DC Rob. I don't know why he blocked you, but shout out to DC Rob because DC Rob keeps people up on things that's happening. But he's never once on his channel said scoped in Cali. He's never once said scoped in Pereira. Never once. You know what I'm saying? So if when you talk about Colombia, if it was all of Mexico versus Medellin, okay, I get that. I have nothing to say about that. There's nothing I can say. But when you reference Colombia as a whole, bro, we can't do that because there's a lot of beautiful people in Colombia, a lot of dope people, caring people, but there's also some wolves. And you shouldn't be going over there thinking with the joint in your pants. You should be thinking the same way you walk out your door every day, thinking about, look, I lock my doors because I don't want nobody to come. You should be thinking about that when you get off the plane. Exactly. And guys keep forgetting that.
BLB, I got a question for you then, because you kind of didn't answer the question QB asked. It sounds like you are a Colombian veteran. So what did you think about the brother, the way he entered Colombia and the story that he told?
I'm not really up on everything that happened. I just know they're usually Colombia works closely with the United States alphabet group is in all of South America. They're in Colombia the heaviest. They're all through that. So if they denied him for something, it could be deeper than rap. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? He could be a P word. We don't know. What did he give as the what did he give as the, I'm not now I'm sorry to now that you laugh, bro. I'm not accusing him. I'm saying he could be. I don't know the man. You know what I'm saying? So what did he give as a reason as to why they, didn't let him go through? Because remember, there's like 10 planes that land every day, but he's the only one.
Right. Well, we said that was sketchy because there's some things that he kind of left out that needed to be addressed. And he kind of left it vague as hell.
Kind of like that dude. What's that dude? B-Dub. Remember that dude, B-Dub? He wanted to show his girl, but he didn't tell people how much he was paying for a company. Ooh. Yeah, that's my girl. That
was in here. B-Dub was in here.
Yeah, was he? Well, tell people.
I'm gonna hold on. I can get. Let me summon him. I'm down.
Bring him back. Bring him back. B-Dub.
So you mean B-Dub's traveling girl was your girl?
You sound very knowledgeable about.
Nah. I'm talking about the one he was in. He was in Honduras. He was in Honduras or something with her, and he was like, "Yo, y'all pookies," and he was like, "Y'all spirit flyers and all that." He was going in on people, but he was being very general, right? Man, he's paying for it, bro. You think a girl like that staying with OG like that and ain't getting no Skrilla? Y'all wildin'.
Really quick, passport blueprint. You have something to say? I'm gonna
I wanted to ask BLB a question. So. You being knowledgeable about Colombia, what is the solution to these issues of guys going over there and just for that special tourism and stuff? What is the solution so that way? Because I really believe law enforcement is watching us.
Of course, they're watching for liability reasons. They're watching for. There's certain things I can't say about Colombia on here because I'm so close with people over there. There's certain things you don't say because,
that's understandable.
Like I just told y'all, things can get back to you. But the solution is, and I gave this on my channel, go to the casas. If you need anything, go to the casas, bro. Let's do some quick math, QB. For you guys that want to go over there, you're on your vacation, you want to slide out and you want to do something extra, some adult things, right? You take a girl out to eat. That's going to cost you 100 to 200 mil. That's about $50, right? You have some drinks. You go to dancing. That's some drinks, right? You're doing all of this all because you want to get to the happy moment at the end of the night, right? Save all that. Just spend 50 pesos. It's $15 to go to a casa and do what you got to do. $15. And then you don't have to worry about somebody. See, the thing is, the confusion with men is when the early Dominican days with this girlfriend experience thing. You want her to stay overnight. You want her to sleep with you. You want to pretend like she's your girlfriend. Well, Medellin has been telling y'all, get a real girlfriend, bro. Get a real girlfriend.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Because these things that you're short timing with is not that they're not on that type of time. They can see, how did Pablo Escobar control Medellin like that? Because he was really smart. He was smarter. A lot of the criminals, drug dealers and criminals, they're really smart, right? If you switch them from the streets to the boardroom, they would excel. So these people are really smart, but for some reason people equate third world with low education. Colombia has a great education. These people are smart. These women can read you and see he's not really serious about this. He just wants some smash. You know what I'm saying?
That's girl, by the way. B-Dub, you've been summoned, so pull up. All right, but go ahead.
B-Dub don't want to smoke with me, bro.
I got a question for B. I can't see his name.
Yes,
BLB. What's
sir.
good, bro? Now I've been to 14 cities in Colombia, man. You mentioned Tumaco, man. That's a city I've been to, man. So, have you been to all the Afro-Colombian cities?
I've been only to Choco, and the reason why I haven't been to the other ones is because I was advised against it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I would love to go.
Well, I'm going next month, man, back to Tumaco and Quibdó, man. So I need some wingmans to come.
Tumaco, Quibdó, I was there, and when I was there during the pandemic. I slid over there during the pandemic. Tumaco is a little bit more. Damn, how do I say this without being? There's a lot of things going on over there. Let's just say that.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
I've been there.
Right, but you
It's
know what
not as
QB
bad.
said? You know what QB just said about me? He said, "Yo, you like the girls from the hood." So my guys are from the hood. So if I go over there, it's not. It's just complicated.
And there's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong. We all move different. BOB has a lot more street mart savvy than most, and including myself. And that's the environment you feel comfortable being in. Now, there are other brothers that, hey, that's not really my thing, and that's okay too. So that's why we can come on a panel and let our audience know, hey, if this is something that you're into, you got to move this way. But if you're this type of brother, squared, which is me, this, you're going to need to go with somebody that has that street smart sense. Otherwise, you can be in a very bad situation. Extremely bad.
I mean, here's another advice. Say, for instance, me and QB go to Medellin, right? This is before knowing everything. Like, and all of my guys that's connected with me or around me in my circle, they know. Like, I'm like, hey, we'll do check-ins. Like, did you make it there? Hit me when you get there. Hit me when she leaves, or give me your wallet, or give me this, or give me that. Right. So we do checklists. We used to call it back in the day when we was traveling in Dominican Republic. We used to call it chica proof in your crib. Remember that?
I heard about that.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I
So you
remember
used to, yeah, chica proof your crib, right? So she can't walk up out of there with stuff. But you also want to keep somebody, you know what I'm saying? You want to keep people on the up and up. Like you rent a building with security. Every now and again, and I said this like 20 million times. Look, what does it take for you to order like a Uber Eats or a Rappi for your security guy? Yo, you hungry, bro? What you need?
Yep.
All right.
Yep. Yep.
You order something for your guy, so that way when Shorty when he sees you walking with Shorty and he sees her walking out with a TV and a refrigerator, something's wrong. You feel me?
Right. It don't cost that much either, B.O.B. And it's just
No.
like these guys are tight as mother. They'll squeeze the ink off a fucking dollar bill before they'll spend money to protect their own fucking lives. I don't get it.
But
we think that we think we're the Superman. That's what we think. We're cool. We can handle it. I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother.
But I was about to say, I think the one thing is that this community of brothers here, and you look at brothers spread out across all the channels, even from Thailand guys, the Brazil guys, the Colombian guys, Mexico guy, QB. We all talk amongst each other, and we all kind of share that information. I mean, it's been a while since we've seen brothers in our community get scoped, or something like that happen to them. So the as long as the communication's flowing, the conversation's flowing, I think that would make things the best. Even just like we're talking about now, the security measures that brothers are coming in, that are encountering, coming back from these countries, that needs to be talked about. Like, hey, like we just talked about it a minute ago, you need to log out of your apps. You need to close out everything. They got the software now to go into your Bumble, go into your Tinder, to look at your transcripts. So those are the measures that you're going to have to start taking.
Right. Invest in your Airbnb. If you're renting an Airbnb, make sure you got security. Make sure, like, if you know who here has been to Cali or Cali, I would say. Anybody been to Cali?
I've been to Cali.
Yeah, I've been.
So if you rent, some of them Airbnbs is in like apartment complexes where it's fenced off and there's like 6 or 7 buildings in there, right? So by the time, you know what I'm saying, if she scope you, by the time she go downstairs to the elevator and walk through security, she has to pass security to get out. By the time she do all that, you know what I'm saying, there's double doors where they have to either press the button to unlock the door and stuff like that, or let her out. By the time, the security dude call upstairs and he don't get no answer from you, he'll be like, yo, hold on, little lady, because now you got a backpack. Hold on, I'm gonna go upstairs and check on homie, make sure he's good. I'll be right back. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know what I'm saying? There's ways to, like, it's no way to be 100% safe, but there is a way to minimize these chances. Like, for instance, me checking effect we think we almost got scoped, right? So we was in a house in Medellin. I called these 3 girls over because it was me, check, and another YouTuber called Charlie Boy, right? Charlie Boy TV from Miami. So Charlie Boy didn't like any of the girls that we bought. Me and Check was chilling with the three. I ended up crashing one of them, and then we were back out having drinks. We had a bottle of Medellin. We were drinking. They started. Two of them started mixing the drink, making the drinks for us, Coke and rum. So me and Check's looking at each other like, yo, this don't feel right. But we already had the drink. You feel me? But the second time, they're taking shots of aguardiente and drinking the rum too. Then the second drink comes, but they're like pushing us to drink it, pushing us to drink it. At the same time that they're pushing us to drink it, they're asking for my homie to come out the room. Yo, tell you he don't like us, tell him to come out the room. He came out to the door, said hi, went back in. He wouldn't come out. So at that point, I think they aborted mission. And it was like, immediately, it was like, hey, we got to go somewhere. We'll be right back later. And so me and Check talking, we laugh about it all the time, because it was just so weird how they're pushing us to drink. Like, we're grown men. If we want to drink, like, you know, I don't need you to put it up to my mouth. That's crazy. So that type of situation. After that, I started paying attention. I started reading about how scopamina, the plant, just grows on the side of the road there. It's just normal for them, right? And we started moving differently after that. Like, nah, you know, if I'm drinking, I'm drinking. This is mine, and I'm watching. I've thrown out so many cups in clubs everywhere, Peru, Ecuador, Brazil, just because I don't feel, even if it's not a scopamine situation, I just don't feel right. If anybody touch my cup, I'm pouring it out. I'll get another one. You hear me? So that's just me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna go to the bathroom, pee, and come back and because she's fine, forget that my drink was on the table. I'm like, yo, let me get another cup. Send me another cup and some more ice to the bar.
Yeah.
Good points.
Now, I will say this, you know, my time in Barranquilla and Santa Marta was great. And I don't know if you saw that video, BLB, but I put Barranquilla as one of my top 5 cities to date in Latin America. Now, the thing is, guys are just fixated of wanting to go to Medellin. And this is where I hold Colombian content creators, hey, show other aspects of Colombia, so therefore it doesn't have this negative connotation for the most part.
No, they like BLB. They want to keep that shit off the radar.
I mean, people do. I mean, but sometimes certain cities get views. Like if I drop a video and I hashtag Sosua, Cartagena, Medellin, that
It's
get
gonna
more
go up.
views.
It's gonna
That
go
get
up.
more. Yeah. So I've been to a lot of cities, but it don't get a lot of views. Maybe some white guys view my stuff because they trying to retire and they trying to do other stuff, but
right.
I don't get a lot of brothers checking for them smaller cities.
We did a video, right? We used to do, me and like when I was running around with Check and GR, and then he brought me. He was the person who brought me to Colombia for the first time. We would put women on our channels and drop their Instagram, and then after that, we stopped doing it because like the followers and some of the YouTubers was getting greasy in their DMs, right?
Wow.
And so, that's the reason. So QB got this little funny thing. He seen I was in Brazil and I posted a girl and he's like, yo, the type of girls that you post, like my first lady will never be seen, bro. It will never happen. I know what type of industry we're in with this travel space and how guys can be. I would never post my main joint. You know what I'm saying? I've sent some pictures in a group chat of somebody I was talking to or vetting, but my shorties will never be on no YouTube for none. Now, if we got some years in and we want to do a channel together and stuff like that, cool. But I'm not gonna post my joint. So dudes be like, then I have to find out that you got to be careful on that, because then you find out like guys like me probably smashed her while you was away, while you was out of town.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
I think me and Ronin and a couple of us talked about this a few weeks ago about brothers that are just lazy they going after the same
They'll
girl.
DM you and say,
with.
"Yo, when you leaving town, can you hook me up with the old girl that you with right now?" I'm like, "Yo, why you want sloppy seconds or thirds or whatever the fuck? You can't go get your own girl. You gonna just hook up with the next man's girl."
And you're seeing that all the time in Thailand from the guys. They back channeling other dudes trying to get
Thailand.
the same girl.
Ain't all them dudes out there with porn stars and ex sex workers?
Corn stars.
Corn stars with a C. My bad, QB, with a C.
I mean,
corn stars and
if you're in Pattaya, you have a good chance to be with one.
I mean, all the YouTubers are with them now, ain't they?
Man.
Passport Bro team. Passport Bro's been taking they've been taking a slow L. Like the movement was fun. It started out great. It was supposed to be something great, but it turned to something crazy.
Well, I think what we're noticing, brother, is that, and I mentioned this on several panels, and I think I even mentioned it to you, QB. What is the end game?
Yes.
You can't be out there the whole time doing what you're doing and not have an end game. It used to be everybody said they're looking for wives, but shoot, we got cats that's been out there on the street for 5, 6, 7 years. We got a young man traveling across Brazil, Europe, all over the place, saying he can't find nothing now.
Right?
Nah, that's funny that you said that. The game is done, QB. Go ahead.
So for me, I do want to take my girl serious, and I'm making steps to do that. Now, for other guys, I can't speak on them, but I 100% agree with you. There has to be an end game, because otherwise, your future is just really going to be unstable. You're going to go to a country and just visit there and not want to live there in the future? Or is this what you want to do? Is just bang out prostitutes until you die?
Some guys want that. Some guys.
I mean, here's the thing: y'all never going to be able to keep up the pace. I'm just telling you, attrition's going to fall in, and y'all not going to be able to keep up the pace. However you establish, you're going to have to finish, or you're going to have to transition your YouTube pages from one thing to another, and you might lose your followers depending on how geek they were about what you were putting out to begin with.
I agree on that.
You're gonna have to migrate your page and your followers, and you're gonna take some losses. You're gonna take some hits of people like not agreeing with your new lifestyle. Now, this is what Austin's going through. How long can you do this? You can't do this. He's 25 years old. You think he's gonna make 30 doing the same shit he's doing now? No, he's got to move his page. He's got to constantly continue to change to keep interest.
The error on that was the error on Austin is not Austin. Austin's doing great. He's going to continue to do great. The problem is 40 and 50 and 30-year-old men looking to him for dating advice is crazy. Crazy.
You already know what's wrong with those dudes.
It's crazy.
I like the end game. It should be an end game, but here's the thing also, that the detriment to your health, drinking, banging out these girls, partying excessively. There's been some brothers that unfortunately lost their life being a passport bro. Shout out to, RIP Kenny Ken. And so you don't want to go that route either, to a point where there's just no return, and you're only traveling because you're chasing a high when it's not an actual desire destination that you really want to go to. So it has to be a balance, but everybody has to have a goal. Everyone. If you're going to be a bachelor for the rest of your life, cool, but focus on your health as well.
Yeah, they all go hand in hand. Secondary to health is your time. You need both.
Right. And money. You can
always make money back, but you can never get your time and your health. You got to fix those things first. Money comes third to that. You know what I mean?
Right. Nah.
Well, there's Timothy Ravel Reed that got shot in the face in Barranquilla. Barranquilla for me is a little uneasy because there's an element in Barranquilla that's a little weird.
The South Side.
That's what I mean. But them boys will come up north because they know we're all there. at any moment, and it's just a little it's a little weird. Barranquilla got some beautiful women that work and all that, right? But it's just a little weird. Maybe Santa Marta. It's these small towns that nobody travels to. Like, guys, if you're really, really in search of love anywhere, Mexico, anywhere, you got to get away from the tourist areas because you're going to run into the chapeadoras. You're going to run into the scopamine queens. You're going to run into, you know what I'm saying, the women that's in for your wallet, or like the shorty that got killed in Bogota by the American dude from Texas. You're going to run into a girl that going to pretend to be with you but got a side dude that she's giving your money to. Like, you're going to run into that. These small towns where it actually takes work for you to bag the girl is what you need. You know what I mean? Like, your game, like how you coming with her is how you're going to bag her. And if you bag her, you know, after she's saying no, or after she's not trying to give up no skins on the first date, you might got something to it. She got a job. She got a good family, her parents together. She's not in the clubs all the time. You might have a good girl, but here's the problem. Here's the other problem. These weekend warriors that have some game have been spitting it to these women, using and abusing them, sliding out, and then they don't ever want to check for they never will talk to an American again, or they turn to a demon.
Hey, highlight Alex Bam Bam again. He's in Pattaya.
Okay.
So he's seeing these guys checking out bad lifestyles, spending their days in the bar.
Yeah, I mean, again, you don't want to be that person still lonely living overseas. I mean, what's the point of that? But as you mentioned, the other spots. So this kind of brings it up. When I was listening to Flyboys Live, like, he mentioned, shout out to him, he's doing great out there in Cali, Colombia, that he loves Colombia a lot. Like, that's his heart, but it's hard for him to like really get a main there compared to like the main in Cuba. And my thing is like, okay,
why not take the Cuban chick and put her in Colombia?
Yeah, you can't do that. How's she gonna leave on a boat? Come on.
What you mean? Don't he have a spot in Colombia?
It's hard to get Cubans there, man.
My thing is BLB is like you gotta go.
You can't get Cubans out of Cuba. So
that's hard, bro.
Oh, okay.
Unless she's a baseball player.
Right. You got to go to the smaller towns, right? You got to go to the smaller towns. And maybe he might get a girl in Cali right now that's on his program. I saw him out there, his shorts. A lot of brothers are out there in Cali. But QB being the observer, I'm going to be like, okay, when I see the interaction, I want to see some quality Cali local women. Now, again, my taste is a little bit subjective from others, but I'm here to see brothers win, period.
So what you trying to say, man? You ain't saying
one man's beauty is another man's crazy. So
right, I'm sure you'll find what you want in Cali.
Well, I know who QB's taking a shot at right now. I've seen some receipts coming out of from Cali right now.
yeah.
I'm not dropping no names. I already know you checking people's receipts that are in Cali right now during the festival.
Yeah,
they got them out there. QB.
Remember about Cuba is that if you're, and I know this guy, Cuban guy here in Vegas, that I remember when he came here, he said he came over on the boat, but he said now a Cuban, if you can get from Cuba to Mexico, all they need to do is just walk up to the border and they're in. So if he really wanted to get her over here, all he got to do is get her to Mexico, get a flyer there, because Cubans can't go into Mexico.
Yeah. Hey, man! One of my boys, one of my homies is on that. Is told me he was gonna do that with his chick. Send her to Mexico.
Send her to Mexico. All she got to do is get to the border. She claims asylum.
Y'all smuggling chicas now? Damn!
Oh man! Hey.
Don't use that word on here, man.
So hold on. I gotta say this too. Also, like, I know Cali has the melanated, really nice, but another city where brothers is sleeping on. This is my personal opinion. Panama City.
Been there. Loved it.
Panama has melon. Lots
That's
of
a
melon.
stopover. Panama's a fly through, bro.
Listen. Panama is not on the list because they use American dollars, and brothers like to travel cheap. You're gonna spend some money in Panama.
Bullseye.
You are. I'm just saying the talent is there too. So Cali, Panama, melon, obviously.
There's a lot of Colombians in Panama too.
Brazil.
Bunch.
Yeah.
A whole bunch.
Brazil. But I mean, the guy that's making Brazil content, he's a sugar daddy.
Damn.
But I mean, if that's
shots fired.
Yeah, I look at him as that. If that's what he want to do, that's where his mindset is at. We just talked about that. Is he gonna be one of these guys that's gonna be out there for years and years being a sugar daddy, or he's gonna be somebody like you with an end game?
Go abroad now. Wants a sugar date the rest of his life.
Yeah, you want a sugar date for the rest of his life? Let him do it.
Can I ask y'all a question?
Yeah,
QB,
go ahead.
this is. Can y'all name throughout? Let's start from 2020. All these YouTubers that was telling you to go out, travel, and showing you all these places, right? How many of them got wives or girlfriends at this point right now?
Wives and girlfriends. I mean, you want to go through the countries?
Andrea,
let's go through the big. Let's name the big YouTuber names. Who got girlfriends?
Ace got a girlfriend.
Ace don't got no girlfriend. I heard she's for the streets.
Oh shit! Ace Live's girl.
The one that was in Medellin. This is what I heard. I don't know if it's true.
I don't know if that was the one from Dominican Republic or the one from Colombia that he picked up and he kept.
The one from Medellin that he was running around with.
Peru. He's had her in Peru. He's had her in several other countries.
Well, she might be in pocket now.
Okay, so we got Zoom's got a girlfriend. QB's got a girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
You got Andre got a wife.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. There was a brother in the Dominican Republic.
Low. Crypto TV.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What's it? ORB. I forget his name.
Oh, it's Solo.
Colombian.
Solo ORD.
Yeah, he's got a Colombian. I think Colombian girlfriend.
There's a brother, I can't think of his name in Dominican Republic. He's married to, I think she's either a dentist or a doctor, or not. She's not. She's something. I can't think of their names and stuff, but they're a couple in DR.
Oh, Norbert.
Black Man Travels has a DR wife. I mean, and so does Fearless. Fearless Podcast has a Dominican wife.
Okay.
Who else?
But these are guys that are already preaching that. These what you should be distinguishing the ones that are preaching. That's just what they're going over to do and haven't done it yet. You get what I'm saying?
It's the thing, because remember when they first started, it was the conversation, and I talk about this on my channel, how they were. There's no good women in the States yet.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They're 4 years in this game and haven't had a relationship.
Not even.
I've had two relationships. One of the relationships I had was in Medellin, and I found out later on that she used to be a former worker girl. I had to cut that out. You understand what I'm saying? The second one I had in Ecuador, she was a doctor, but her kid was autistic, and that was a lot for me, bro. So I've been there. I'm really selective with the women I'm with. I'm really selective with the type of woman I want around me, because I know what type of person I am. And I can't have somebody that's going to give me a headache, because I know, it's not going to go well.
Uncle Guns, come on, man. They're not all Transformers, Uncle Guns.
That's what are you talking about? Thailand? Listen.
But also, the brother. What's the brother in the Philippines that's got a girl?
Broke Passport. That's his name, or Passport Budget.
That's the one.
With the lady,
that's the one.
What's his name?
The light skinned guy. He started off in Thailand. Now he's over in the
Philippines.
Yeah,
he's older.
I'm talking about the older brother. What's
the
his
lady
name?
boys.
No.
His wife got a channel.
Passport.
No.
Oh, you're talking about black Filipino. Black Filipino.
Well, black Filipino is one, but
and then there's another guy named Dean Hassan. He's an ex-Marine.
The bald-headed brother. What's his name?
He's bald-headed. Black guy, big tall black guy. He's bald-headed.
No, not him.
Game Abroad?
He's like 61, 62 years old.
Oh, the older guy that
you're talking about Sunshine Shoulders. Sunshine Shoulders.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
That's the one where his girl has a channel. His girl has a channel, right?
She doesn't have a channel. No, she don't have a channel.
No, but I thought they were getting divorced. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what was going on.
Sunshine Shoulder. He's actually married
to
another Filipino that's here in the States.
But there's at least 4 or 5 brothers that have channels in the Philippines that I know because I follow them all.
Yeah.
Because that's where I'm headed next.
There's one of them that got a girl, and she's terrible.
Like 10 to 15 of them.
So B.O.B. no Asian that ain't your flavor player.
Definitely not Thailand. Them they look like little boys, bro. They look like adolescent boys, fam.
Damn.
And then the rest of them, they're stars. You know what I'm saying? They're internet stars. You feel me? So I just can't, bro. If I give somebody my last name, and shout out, I did the live last week about the dude that's in the NFL that married a former worker for Cartagena, right? I can't put my last name on something like that. I'm a man with pride. I can't do ish like that. You know what I mean? My last name means.
Yeah. Talking about who? You talking about the Venezuelan chick?
Yes, sir. She's a baddie though. She's tough.
Yes.
Yeah, she got some work done. She married an ex-athlete.
He's an NFL player. I think he's current. That's the word in the streets that he's a current NFL player. You see how the picture on her Instagram, you see she took a wedding picture. They got married in Vegas, and there's like a picture of his hand. She's not showing him because she knows once that dude surfaces, you know what I'm saying, and people start flooding them. There's videos out of her getting going to Pound Town for a client like this. So once them videos, bro, it's tough. And dudes is out here marrying
player this year that his wife was like, yo, you're not making enough money. I'm going back to the streets, basically.
Oh, hell.
That was Joe Smith. Smith.
Yes.
Yeah.
She was an American black woman. She wasn't a foreigner.
Now I got a video with old girl.
Who?
You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now,
which one are you talking about?
The Venezuelan Cartagena joint. The joint from Cartagena.
Right. Guys, really quick, I got to do final closing thoughts. Ronin, if you want to bring everybody to your stream after, that's cool, but I got to get going.
He said, I got business.
I got to get going. I appreciate you guys, but really quick, final closing thoughts, no excuse. What you got for us, player?
Oh, man. Yeah, man, just, guys, if Colombia is tripping, man, like just it's always a plan B, man. So whatever country don't want to, welcome us, there's always somewhere else to go. So, it's not the end of the world. So that's all I got.
All right. Appreciate that. BLB, salute to you. Final closing thoughts.
Just be careful, man. Taking advice from these dating coaches that's 24 years old. That's crazy.
Shots fired. I'm just playing.
If you're serious about finding something, there are amazing women in Colombia, bro. You can find a serious relationship in Colombia, but you got to be on that type of time. Once women across the world, once they see what type of time you're on, they'll switch it to something else. Like Dominican women, if they see you ain't on some serious time, they're gonna try to get some bread out of you. Okay, if this is what it is what it is. But if you want to go over there willy-nilly and do the weekend warrior thing in Medellin, per se, go to the casas. They're open. You get some late at night to 4 a.m. You can get your rocks off at any time. Cali, as you know, you don't hear anything because there's no tourist area there in Cali, right? So you got Cartagena, you got Medellin. But you know what I mean? Know what you want. If you want to do some tricking, do that, but do it safely, man. And that's all I got.
Okay, I appreciate you pulling up too, and sub to his channel, by the way. Baja Tours, you were a little quiet tonight, but final closing thoughts.
Yeah, I kind of caught you on the tails end.
Yeah, I know. You always do, bro. You always do, but that's okay.
Yeah. Well, all right, but yeah, it ain't the end of the world because you can't get into Colombia. There's 100 other countries that we can go into and bang some broads.
Oh Lord Jesus.
All right.
He was saying,
I probably didn't get monetized now, but that's okay.
Bruh.
Hey, all right. Yeah. Well, shit. Since we gonna go rated R.
No, let's keep it. Let's just keep it PG.
All right, I'll say the PG-13.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. All right. As for Pathfinder, and he was a buster anyway. He gonna claim Compton and then duck the fade on Razor Rays.
Ooh. Damn. All right, cool. I appreciate you, player. Ronin, final closing thoughts. Hold on. Let me. I got me on the exit solo. All right,
man.
There you are. Final closing thoughts, player.
I mean, here's the thing. If you guys are serious about traveling and it's not a weekend warrior type of thing, these countries are starting to lock down on immigration. Not only, how many times you're going into the country, but the reasons why you're going into the countries. If you're going there because you have a steady lady, somebody you go in there consistently for, get a longer visa. It's not that hard. Just invest the money and get the longer visa. One, you're going to show the girl that you're really more committed to actually being in a relationship. You're going to show the country you're looking really more to contribute to that country. You're going to be received a little bit better than just having that 30-day visa and doing the border run. Stop being fucking cheap. That's one thing about our community. We're fucking cheap about certain things. Yeah. You should go ahead and fucking spend the money.
Yes, agree.
Okay.
Thank you.
So just get the longer passports, alleviate the fucking difficulty of getting back and forth in the countries. If you plan on going there multiple times a year. That's it.
All right. Appreciate you. Drew G, my bad. Final closing thoughts.
Yeah, just want to say appreciate your panel tonight. I appreciate the conversation. Also appreciate the communication, because I think that's always what's needed. Everyone needs to talk about what they're seeing, how things are changing for you. It keeps everyone abreast of the situation, keeps us safe first and foremost. Safety, because there's people I know, we talk a lot of shit. A lot of this is very barbershop talk, but there's people that depend on you. And at the end of the day, there's somebody that wants to see you come back. So, salute you, QB. Keep doing your thing, and always here to support you.
All right, man. Appreciate that. Exit solo layout, and then myself. Guys, thank you guys for watching. This was a lit live. Make sure you sub to everybody's channel. Sorry, I'm just distracted because I really do have to get going. Like the video. You guys saw the Hooters video. Again, that's just more info on Guadalajara. I'm going to Costa Rica in 2 weeks with my girlfriend, vacation. So I'm going to make sure I get a lot of content for you guys. So it's your boy QB Passport Flexing signing off. You guys have a good one. And I am out of here.